Hey everyone, welcome back to the diorama world of three cats. In this video, we'll journey back to the ancient Middle East, witness one of the greatest epic battles in human history, the Battle of Kadesh. Together, we'll create a unique diorama to bring this legendary conflict to life. According to Egyptian chronology, the battle is generally dated to May 1274 BC, and it is the earliest recorded pitched battle with known details of tactics and formations. It is also believed to be the largest chariot battle in history, with an estimated 5,000 to 6,000 chariots in action, so this scene is bound to include the dramatic clash of chariots in battle. Let's get started on building it right away. Most of the forces are 3D printed, including a complete set of Egyptian chariots, 2 war horses, the chariot, the driver, as well as the Pharaoh and Hittite soldiers. As for the Hittite chariots, since their design and specifications are quite different from the Egyptian ones, I've referred to some sources and plan to craft one using wood pieces. While working on this, I'll also give you a brief introduction to the historical background of this battle. In 1290 BC, Ramses II became pharaoh of Egypt's 19th dynasty. At the time, the Hittite Empire in the north was rapidly expanding, threatening Egypt's control over Syria. The two sides had already clashed several times over the region. Determined to prove himself, the young and ambitious Ramses II saw Kadesh as the perfect opportunity for military glory. He led his army north, aiming to reclaim both Kadesh and Greater Syria. By late April 1285 BC, Ramses personally led 4 divisions from the eastern delta. They advanced through river valleys before setting up camp about 15 miles south of Kadesh. Meanwhile, Hittite King Muwatalli received intelligence about Egypt's advance. He gathered over 20,000 troops, including thousands of chariots, and set an ambush around Kadesh, waiting for the perfect strike. Unaware of the trap, Ramses marched straight into it. His army was caught off guard and quickly overwhelmed. In the chaos, he led a small group of bodyguards, fighting his way through enemy lines and managing to escape. Just in time, Egypt's Seti division arrived, launching a surprise attack on the Hittites and forcing them back. Under the protection of the elite Sheridan Guard, Ramses led a small but decisive counterattack, turning the tide of the battle. For this project, I plan to create a battle diorama capturing the dramatic moment when Pharaoh led his troops to break through and push back the Hittites near Kadesh. Now it's time to bring the scene to life with grass and vegetation. The Battle of Kadesh took place in the Orontes River Valley, in what is now western Syria. The climate is dry, with hot summers and little rainfall. Near the river, patches of grass, reeds, and scattered trees exist, while further inland, the terrain is covered with drought-resistant shrubs. I'll start by applying static grass to create a realistic grassy base. With the grass in place, I'll add vegetation using a few simple techniques to enhance the details. For the first type of low-lying shrub, I'll use twine, glue, and mottle grass. Cut the twine into 5 cm segments, secure one end with glue, and fray the other to create a natural bushy shape. Adding fine grass fibers at the top gives it more depth. I then paint the stems for a more uniform and realistic color. Apply glue to the top and sprinkle on green flocking to make the foliage look fuller and more natural. I'll use fine wire, sculpting clay, and paper leaves for the second type of small shrub. Shape the wire into branches. Cover the lower part with sculpting clay to form a sturdy stem. And then attach pre-designed laser-cut leaves one by one. Adjusting their angles helps create a more natural, organic look. I also asset shading and fine details to the leaves to enhance realism. Also, I prepared some pre-made thorny branches with leaves attached. With a bit of trimming, these simply made plants are ready to go straight into the scene, saving time while still maintaining detail. With the vegetation in place, the battlefield environment is starting to come together. Next, I'll be adding colors to both armies. In the Battle of Kadesh, the Egyptian army was personally led by Pharaoh Ramesses II and was organized into 4 divisions. Each division consisted of around 5,000 soldiers, bringing the total force to about 20,000 men, including infantry, archers, and charioteers. Egyptian infantry typically wore linen kilts, with some soldiers going bare-chested, wearing only belts or leather armor. Their most common weapons included sickle-shaped swords, spears, bronze swords, and composite bows. Both the Egyptian and Hittite armies relied on chariot warfare, but their horses differed in size, equipment, and role. Egyptian horses were smaller and lightly equipped for speed and hit-and-run tactics. Their chariots relied on archery, making mobility a key advantage. A distinct feature was the decorative feathers or tassels on their heads or necks, symbolizing rank or religion. Hittite horses, on the other hand, were larger and bred to pull heavily armored chariots designed for frontal charges and breaking enemy lines. The pharaoh's chariot was more than a weapon. It symbolized power, often depicted in reliefs and temple murals to showcase his bravery and divine rule. In this battle, Ramesses II rode a lightweight, 2-wheeled chariot built for speed and long-range combat. Made of wood with leather and bronze reinforcements, it featured 6 spoked wheels for durability and an open-frame design without a rear panel for quick mounting and dismounting. Operated by 2 warriors, a driver and an archer or spearman, it was a highly mobile attack platform. So I spent quite a long time depicting the intricate details and decorations to match the splendor that it, as the pharaoh's chariot, is meant to have. Ramesses II, one of Egypt's longest reigning and most influential pharaohs, was just 25 during the Battle of Kadesh, ambitious, confident, and eager to prove himself. Though the battle ended in a stalemate, his bold leadership and strategic skills were undeniable. In the years that followed, he strengthened Egypt's power through military conquests and diplomacy, while overseeing monumental projects like the temples of Abu Simbel, Karnak, and Luxor, earning the title the Great Builder. The Hittite army, led by King Muwatalli II, fielded 20,000 to 25,000 troops, including a large force of charioteers and infantry. Chariot warriors wore leather or metal armor, which offered more protection but reduced mobility. Their main weapons included bronze swords, short spears, and large shields. Hittite heavy chariots were larger than Egyptian ones, pulled by 3 horses and manned by a driver, a shield bearer, and a spearman. In this scene, the Hittite horses are gone. By the time Pharaoh and his troops intercepted and destroyed the chariots, the horses had already scattered. Next, I'll prepare some arrows for the scene. Attach reins to the Pharaoh's warhorse using thin brown wire, the same material I'll use for the arrows. I'll place all the soldiers, chariots, and horses into the scene. Then, I'll place the arrows around the Hittite chariots and near the wounded Hittite soldiers. After multiple checks and final touch-ups, the piece is all done. Stay tuned until the end for the full reveal. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel at 3Cat Studio. There's so much more to come. Through these models, we freeze moments in time, turning each scene into a piece of history that can be held in our hands. Your support is what keeps us creating. Thank you for watching. See you next time.